Hey guys, wanted to go ahead and do a review of the Sony IER-M9. I finally got this through AV Exchange, shout out to, I think his name is Tanchum, for hooking me up with this. Basically, if you ever want to buy or sell IEMs, check out AV Exchange Reddit. This is not an ad. This is just it's just a thing on Reddit. Anyway, so I finally got a hold of the Sony IER-M9. These are actually really hard to find. Most of them are only in Japan, and I didn't want to risk tariffs, so it was hard for me to get it, and I was just like, that's why it took me so long to get it, because initially I thought I got it, but the person sent me an IER-M7, and so I did a review of the IER-M7, and then basically now here's the review of the IER-M9. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my 2 cents and go from there. I'm going to go ahead and put the notes on the screen. Please note that whatever is on the notes on the screen, I'm not going to repeat it. What I'm going to be talking about is just something different, basically an overall picture. So just think of whatever is on the notes as complimentary, but I'm not going to repeat myself to save you time and save me time. This makes my videos a lot shorter. Okay, so long story short, this is a very, very warm and dark IEM. Very, very warm. In fact, it is actually warmer than all of the warm IEMs I have at the moment. It's so dark and warm that, okay, let's just go over it. Okay, well, let me first talk about the ear tips, and then we'll talk about the warmth level. So I actually had to swap ear tips 5 times. I first went with the stock bottom, and it was too warm and dark, and too fuzzy and just too warm. Then I went with the stock top, and this sounded like crap, so this is not good. And so then what I had to do was basically I had to figure out what do we do here. So I did the Tang Senkai balanced bore. This was still too dark. Then I wanted to tone it down a bit, so I then swapped to diminishing velvet. This still was not enough. Then finally what I did was we went on wide bore Tang Senkai, and then it started to sound good. And I was like, okay, this is great. And with this, it sounds really, really good. However, there's one caveat I'm going to mention really quickly here and to go from there. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is warmer than every single warm IEM I have at the moment. Now, I have a small collection here, but basically it is warmer than the Dunu Akima 2, which is shocking because I consider this pretty warm. It's warmer than the Variations. It's warmer than the Crane-Ear Daybreak. It is warmer than the Dunu SA6 Mark II. It is warmer than obviously this is more like kind of veering a little bit more brightish, but basically it's warmer than the Cadenza 4. It is warmer than the T-Pros. It is warmer than the Lecture SO8, which is shocking because I consider this pretty warmish, but this is actually warmer than this. Now, this has more sub bass, more Beats by Dre sub bass, but the vocals here are slanted a little bit brighter compared to this. This is warmer, believe it or not, compared to the RSV Mark I. It is warmer than the Key Fine Clean. It is warmer than the Zigot Lush. It is warmer than the Truthier Pure. You getting the hint here, right? It's warmer than the Dusk. I don't know if it's warmer than the Mega 5 EST, but it's pretty damn close. They're both pretty damn warm. And then it is warmer than the Pandemon 2.0 by Celeste. And basically, this is a very warm and dark IEM. And so the only way I could fix it was actually using Tang Senkai wide bore ear tips. Then it started to sound really freaking good. Now, what I thought is I was starting to listen and go through all the songs was this isn't worth the money. This is like $1,200, $1,300, or $1,400 brand new. And in my opinion, there are IEMs that are a fraction of the cost that I thought sounded better than these. So let me go over 3 right now with you, and then I'm going to talk about the irony, okay? So as I was going with the stock ear tips, it sounded so warm. Female vocals were kind of muddled and warm, and instruments were kind of covered over. But in general, I found that basically, I thought the T Pros, which you can find these for like $200 or like $300, I thought these sounded better. And this is really quite a bit cheaper. I thought obviously the Dusk sounded better, and then I thought the RSV Mark I sounded better as well. I can't seem to find it right now, but it's here somewhere. But it's essentially this just sounded really, really warm and dark. However, and here's what's the irony, is once I added the wide bore ear tips, it started to sound a lot better. But here's the irony. what it ended up being was it just basically turned it into this. It just kind of like, it makes it like a soft ears RSV Mark 1. And so it begs the question, yeah, now it sounds a lot better, but now it drops the bass down, it opens it up a bit, and now it starts to sound like an RSV Mark 1 or like a T Pro or like a Dusk. But these are all cheaper, except this is like $1,600. So I always feel like you might as well just go with this route instead. But this just goes to show how great the Vanguard T Pros are. These sound really good. This is literally destroying, or in my opinion, or is just as good as a $1,500 set right here. This is a really good IEM. Like I said, once I started to add wide bore ear tips, this sounds so much better. But then it becomes like, then it starts to become one of these. Then it's like, okay, yeah, it sounds a lot better now, but now you sound like one of these now. You know what I mean? Except this is like $1,000 price difference. So that's my 2 cents overall. I just think in general, like, this is a great example of how something that is much cheaper, cough, cough, than Vanguard T Pros sounds better, actually. And for a fraction of the cost. And so this just goes to show how great this IEM is. And I know this video wasn't supposed to be about the Vanguard T Pro, but it's just me saying like, dude, this is it. This is a $300-ish IEM holding its own and actually beating a $1,500 IEM. So yeah, I will still keep this because this is good for information purposes, and I love this cable. Yeah, that's all I got to say. You guys have a great day. Okay, bye.